Murder Drones Episode 4. I'd say this episode definitely had me feeling somewhat mixed until it kind of balanced out. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess it's because we just got off a pretty banger-ass fight scene, and we're on a more tame lore episode. Also, this was the first episode I actually got to watch premiere live. I think it came out roughly 2 weeks after I originally discovered the show as well. Anyways, with that all out of the way, time to explain Murder Drones Episode 4 in the dumbest way possible. We start off the episode with a sign to a camp. A school bus drives up and the driver is sitting on top of the damn thing, riding it like a goddamn horse. It comes to a stop and the teacher and some students step out. Now I want to point out the best character of this entire episode, and it is this guy, right here. This is Sam. And if you haven't noticed, bro is f***ing geeked right now, and looks so goddamn proud of getting off the bus after he hotboxed the damn thing. Anyways, Sam gets pushed over and bro is too stoned to get back up, so this guy named Braden, this is the guy that's head is just always on fire, steps up on him, trying to get better cell phone reception. Uzi steps out, and I don't know why, but at this point is when I realize that the visuals have definitely improved in this episode, and this quality kind of just stays for the rest of the show. Uzi looks around the place, and we get a quick narration from Khan talking about his experiences at the camp, and says that he actually never noticed the choker on his wife. He then shows Uzi that her mom is just as, if not more of a schizophrenic than she is right now. Khan shuts the door and tells Uzi to be safe and gives her mom's choker. Dear God, was she an emo too? We cut back to what is going on at the camp. Uzi puts the choker on and Braden asks the teacher what they're actually doing here. He says that this is all Uzi's idea and everyone turns to her and he immediately gets jump scared from the presence of an emo girl. Uzi apparently wanted to go here alone, but was forced on a class field trip because apparently everyone in her class is absolutely stupid. N and V then crash down from above, and N gets a checklist out and starts taking attendance. No one is responding, so V just... Everyone falls in line, and N starts planning things for everyone to do. He then gives a slight nod to Uzi that she can go and get whatever information she needs. N orders everyone to head for their bunks, and everyone follows him. Lizzie runs this man's pockets, steals bro's Rolex, then throws it to V. Okay, that's actually kind of funny. Also, this guy is in the Family Guy death pose. Uzi then gets a slight hit of jealousy when she notices that everyone is just flocking over to her friends that can kill everyone here. V, noticing this, starts to taunt Uzi and points out that N is a pilot, which gets the attention of this girl, Rebecca, which is the girl that was singled out last episode. Uzi then walks off into the blizzard. She then breaks into an old laboratory to see if she can find anything, and also she now knows how to use her superpowers. Uzi hears a noise and points her flashlight and just sees a person just sitting there. She tries to look closer, but a hand starts reaching for the corner. She then starts hearing screaming of what sounds like people being scared, but then looks out the window and sees the camp group on canoes. On a frozen lake. Rebecca starts flirting with N, and V orders people to kick over the canoe that they're in. Rebecca then starts screaming that she can't swim, which really shows the intellect of pick-me girls. Uzi, seeing this from the window, gets jealous again and breaks the window. I guess because she used her silver too much, she starts overheating. So she opens her bag and reaches for an arm that she stole from Doll's room. She's then interrupted by V. V tells Uzi that this is the place where they can catch Doll and they can figure out what's going on behind the scenes, and that she needs to stop slacking off. Uzi then makes it even more clear to V that she's getting insecure about them hanging around her classmates. So V points her tail at Uzi and threatens to kill her once this is all over and scratches her visor. To get under her skin even more, V tells Uzi that Ed has made more friends and that he will move on just fine without her. Uzi fixes her visor and goes over to get her bag. When she kicked it, it crushed this little roach guy, so she just fixes it. I'm starting to wonder how much sentience these little roaches have. Uzi then tears up the floor to reveal a dead body and more schizophrenic drawings. A green cockroach crawls onto Uzi's arm, and this one seems to actually be able to communicate. It then scans Uzi, then brings up a menu that you don't typically see from the plug on Snapchat. Uzi asks it about an elevator, and the bug tells her to put it on a barcode scanner. Uzi tries to ask it more questions, but autocorrect is sadly still a thing in the future, and it misunderstands what she says. You ain't sneaky for that shit, bro. We can see you. We cut to N firing into a target. How the f*** did it light on fire? Man. V takes a bow and draws it on everyone looking. So they start clapping, hoping they won't be killed. Uzi comes over and gets N's attention. She uses the bug to tell him not to tell V that she is here. So what does N do? He tells her that she is here. N, you are the most lovable character, but you're also the dumbest character. Uzi tries to be chill, but again, everyone is scared of the presence of an emo. Braden accidentally fires an arrow at Uzi when bro barely pulls the string back. I don't know, the logic in the show confuses me. Uzi stops the arrow from hitting her, but then starts overheating, which causes the arrow to turn into this red stuff, which I can only assume is blood. We then see that Uzi has somehow made a living organism out of the arrow. V, seeing this, immediately starts shitting her pants, and then draws her swords, getting ready to kill Uzi. Uzi then just dips. We then see Uzi break into an old cabin. She barricades the doors, shuts all the blinds, and turns off all the lights. But when she tries to turn off the last light, she starts bugging out again, and makes this black goo stuff, which kinda reminds me of Venom from the new Spider-Man game. Shut up, I like Marvel. We cut back to the camp group as N is trying to hold V back from killing Uzi. He then hits V with his sword, and asks what is she so afraid of. V says that she isn't scared, and N keeps asking what is actually going on. Then he drops this line.
She's a kid, like us, V. What is wrong with you?
This line was a failed attempt to stop all the shipping art I see of these two on my Twitter feed. N then leaves to go find Uzi. Rebecca gives a signal to this guy named Darren to go sneak off. We see them wandering in the woods, and she says that they're gonna go make out. Bro, I don't know if you know this, but she was literally flirting with one of the camp supervisors, and is a fucking pick-me girl. I'm sorry, man, but she is for the streets. They find a cabin, but it ends up being the one that Uzi is in. They get into the cabin, and they see all this black sludge around the place. This has got to be a coincidence that I'm making this video around the same time that Spider-Man 2 came out. Come on. Darren picks up a flashlight, but the door closes behind them. A wing comes out of this cocoon, and we see a purple X. Uzi has gone batshit crazy. We cut to N flying around looking for Uzi. He finds this old lab and goes in. And in this reflection, you can see another pair of eyes, which I guess is dull. N then finds an old VHS tape, but when he touches it, he gets a Vietnam flashback and sees Sin, a severed hand, and a black hole. We cut back to Uzi eating her classmates. And you know what? If these two had the goal to go make out, at least they both got eaten out in some way, if you know what I mean. Can I even make that joke on YouTube? We see that Uzi is tweaking out, and she now has a set goal of killing her classmates. Also, we see a trail of oil leading away from the cabin. We see everyone else gathered around the campfire, singing campfire songs, getting high, and roasting batteries. Wait, isn't that like really dangerous? This girl that I honestly don't know the name of, everyone just calls her Final Girl, starts asking where Darren and Rebecca are, but then screams as Rebecca grabs her leg. They ask who did this, but this dumbass just starts listing off a description of what Uzi looks like. And these guys still can't figure out who it is. We see the campfire extinguished, and we see Uzi standing in the background. This is the hard-ass shot, I ain't gonna lie. Uzi uses her powers to take off Brayden's head. Sam tells everyone to split up, and the book breaks the fourth wall. We then see Sam running through the forest, and if you notice, this entire episode, Sam had these bags under his eyes to indicate whether he is high. But now that he is shit scared right now, he has the adrenaline pumping, which is actually combating the THC in his body. So that means this is the only time this fucker has been sober the entire episode. Anyways, Sam trips over a root and eats shit. He then sees Uzi flying around in the trees. Sam starts looking around, but we see Uzi's tail spying on him. Uzi drops the book on him, and we cut to Lizzie as we hear him scream and die. Lizzie starts looking around and sees Final Girl, but we then see her head get ripped off. Lizzie is then hung, and Uzi starts charging towards her, but is stopped by V and gets slashed and sent back. V starts approaching Uzi and starts referring to her as Sin. Uzi, not knowing who this is, tries to plead with V and asks if she can speak to N. V says that she'll keep her away from him, and that pisses off Uzi, so she starts attacking V. She first rips off her arm and throws her sword at her. V blocks it, but then gets held against a tree. Uzi catches the sword as it's flying and stabs V in the head as she tries to shoot her. Uzi throws V and pins her to the ground. V tries to stab Uzi with her tail, but Uzi uses her tail's mouth to bite off V's syringe. Before Uzi could kill V, N comes over to grab Uzi, and then this happens.
Ow! Up we go!
N then flies up to go after Uzi. We see Uzi being sent above the clouds and not being able to fly. N comes down beside her and starts being a therapist, and asks what's going on. Uzi turns away from him and says that she's weird and eating people. Which, I mean, is it that weird when you're talking to a guy that has done the same exact thing, but on a larger scale? Uzi asks N if he's ever going to leave her, and we get a shippy moment that I personally don't give a shit about. N starts playing with Uzi's tail, and they both crash into the ground. Show's over, everybody. You can go home now. Never mind, they're still alive. Uzi apologizes for her murder, and they hug. How the fuck are you back without a single scratch on you? Everyone gets back on the bus to go home. The teacher turns out to be not as neglectful as I thought, and he points out that there are actually people missing. V takes the blame for the missing people, and we see that Uzi's emo genetics started kicking in as she is now being burned by the sun. Ed grabs her hand and pulls it into the shade, and they hold hands. God damn it. Ed looks at the tapes, and the episode ends. I feel like it's safe to say that everything is more enjoyable when you go see a premiere or a live showing of something, and this episode really made me wish I was there for the other 3. I guess for that one little nitpick that I have is just how many awkward animation poses that there are in this episode. But hey, I'm not an animator, and you're able to look past them and focus on the main plot. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.